The Secret Service has a reputation of engaging in cover-ups to protect their protectees who obviously are politically powerful, and in this case, Barack Obama. So we had an interesting case. Well, I shouldn't say it's an interesting case. It became an interesting case because of the government's refusal to provide basic information about it. Now, you may have recalled about a month ago, the chef for the Obama family died by drowning, according to the official conclusion, and out on the property of Obama, or the lake or pond in front of his home, near his home, up in his mansion up in Massachusetts. And so there were questions about whether they were home or not, and there's always confusion in the beginning. But we thought, well, how is it you clear up mysteries? How is it you answer questions? So when the staff member of a president dies in seemingly odd circumstances while paddleboarding with evidently someone else, people want to know what went on. And if they're kind of given a runaround, that's when people get suspicious. So Judicial Watch specializes in answering questions and trying to solve government mysteries. So we began asking questions of the various agencies involved, including the Massachusetts State Police and the local police in, it's Edgarton up in Massachusetts. And so we didn't sue, we just have been pushing for answers. And we pushed and pushed and pushed, and thanks to Judicial Watch, I know media have been requesting us, but Judicial Watch was actually, got the Secretary of State's office to intervene to get us the records we ultimately got. Because what had happened was you had the Massachusetts State Police conduct an investigation, but they came in after the call, right? So the local police and rescue personnel respond at the scene, so there's reporting about what they were doing and who called who and to get it going. And then once the body was found, the Massachusetts State Police came in and conducted an investigation. So there's two agencies that were involved in the investigation. We asked both for records, and the Edgarton Police Department essentially said, well, the Massachusetts State Police say their investigation's ongoing, so we're not going to give you any records. Well, that's not a reason not to give us records. So long story short is we pushed, the Secretary of State agreed with us, and we finally were able to get 18 pages of records, thanks to our intrepid investigators, this is why it's good to be with Judicial Watch when you're asking for records. I know anyone can do them, but we know where the roadblocks are and how to overcome them. Sometimes you overcome them simply by filing a lawsuit, which Judicial Watch is well positioned to do. But sometimes you can overcome them by knowing how to use the administrative relief that's available, meaning that agency X doesn't give you a document. Well, who else can you ask to get agency X to give you the document short of suing? And those are called administrative appeals. So we did get these records, and the records raise additional questions, none of which needed to be there or should still be there, but I guess people just can't help themselves. And I guess and you'll see that I'm probably being charitable here. We received 18 pages of records through the Massachusetts Public Records Law from Edgarton, Massachusetts, that show the Secret Service reported Obama's personal chef, Tafari Campbell, missing, and that the body was found using sonar. The records also report that clothing was found separate from the body and that he was not wearing a life vest. Several other very important details were redacted regarding the drowning, which occurred back in late July of this year. And this is the report. The documents here include, I don't know if you can see it on screen. So it says here, CAD incident report. I guess in a further iteration of the video, we'll show you what the document looks like up close. Anyway, it gives you who called, and what happened initially, and you'll see I have an easier time looking at it on my release than in the document. It's kind of hard to figure out what's what. Secret Service agent, and the name is redacted at the request of the Massachusetts State Police, which I don't believe is a lawful reason to redact the names, but that's another fight. Advised swimmers unable to locate the party at this time. Party last seen wearing all black on a paddleboard, African-American male. Received a 911 call from the above noted reporting person who identified as a Secret Service member. Reporting person is requesting at least an ambulance response, ensure the exact services needed. And then they talk about getting a rescue swimmer in a Zodiac boat right now. But it's unclear who was deploying the rescue swimmer. I suspect it was Edgarton. They were advised no life vest was worn. They had recovered the paddleboard and clothing. Still no contact with the missing party. They still have a boat and rescue swimmers in the area. So who the they is, it's not clear. No, it looked like it was local rescue swimmers. The police, because there's another document that further confirms it's them. The police and fire departments make their base of operations at Wilson's Landing, which is a popular boat launch in the area. And then the search and dive teams from 3 jurisdictions join the case. And I mean, they really looked hard for the poor man. On or about 11 p.m., the dive and land search was suspended. They had air wings conducting searches, and they had to return to base after the fuel supply got low. And then the next day, the dive team continued, and Mr. Campbell was located using sonar. Obviously, he was deceased. And the investigation, according to this Edgartown document, will now be handled by the Massachusetts State Police and the Cape and Islands District Attorney's Office. No further action. Now, as I noted, and I think I described some of these issues yesterday in a video, so let's run the video. It's a good little summary. Hey everyone, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton here. We got breaking news. We have new documents about the death of that Obama chef, Mr. Campbell, about a month ago. The local police department finally gave us documents about its investigation. It shows the Secret Service was involved. They called 911 once a witness came forward and said this poor man was missing. Of course, they withheld the name of the witness, so we don't know who she is. And plus, the Secret Service agent's name is also hidden. I don't know what other secrets are out there. The documents show the clothes were found separate from the body, and they found the body using sonar. I don't understand why we weren't told initially the Secret Service was involved. It raises additional questions we're going to demand answers about. So let me come up to you and show you what the document looks like here. I'll get closer to the camera. Reporting person. No life vest was worn. They have recovered the paddleboard and clothing. Still no contact with missing party. They still have a boat and rescue swimmers in the area. So those are the sorts of documents we show. Let me show you the other big, longer report written. Okay. See, on or about 11 p.m., the dive and land search was suspended, et cetera, et cetera. The next morning, they continued, and the deceased Mr. Campbell was located using sonar. So, the reason I show these documents, because, some lunatics online always get upset when we talk about these documents. So where are the documents? Well, here are the documents. I'm holding them and looking at them. And of course, they're always available. But here, my colleague suggested I just show you up front. So what's important about this? Well, there's public interest. I mean, obviously, it's a tragedy for the family that this young man died. He's 44. He's younger than me, so he's a young man. And who was he with when he died? We don't know yet. The Massachusetts State Police haven't responded to our request yet. I don't know if we're going to sue on that. And now we're learning for the first time, thanks to Judicial Watch, that the Secret Service was involved in at least the initial response to this missing person. Well, why didn't we find that out a month ago? Why on earth couldn't we have been told, look, Obama's chef died. We're keeping the name of the witness private for obvious reasons. We may release it at a future time once we figure out what went on. The Secret Service was told the person was evidently the witness who he was battle boarding with, according to separate reports. I think the Daily Mail reports that it was a female team member of the Obama family, another employee, but I don't know that for sure. So anyway, just give the information you have. Say the Secret Service called 911 because that's what they did. They were trying to help this guy, find him. The police were desperate to find him. We said we had these games. We found out a month later the Secret Service is involved. And it raises the question that the situation was something they didn't want fully disclosed because there was something scandalous or unpleasant about it that would make Barack Obama look bad generally or someone else look bad. I mean, that's the conclusion I draw. I mean, I've been doing this work for 25 years at Judicial Watch. I know people sometimes say the cover, and I know the line is, I was laughing with one of my colleagues the other day, and he made the point the cover-up's worse than the crime. And I was laughing. I said, well, usually it's not really true. Usually there's a reason for the cover-up, because something bad happened. You don't typically cover up innocent activity or activity that you don't have an issue with. And so why was there a cover-up here? Why wasn't this disclosure made initially? And of course, the Secret Service has a reputation of engaging in cover-ups to protect their protectees who obviously are politically powerful, and in this case, Barack Obama. We know this previously with Joe Biden, and I want to tie it back to the Hunter gun incident. I want to tie it back to the fact that Secret Service leadership, with no public disclosure or complaint, let Joe Biden's dog bite 10 of their agents and personnel in a vicious, dangerous way. And it turns out the Secret Service probably knows what happened, right? They know who the witness is, who was with this man when he drowned, and they don't want that to come out. So it's by definition a cover-up. And I feel badly for the family of this man, but it's the Obama gang that just can't be level with the American people. And Judicial Watch has got to, work this poor chief up in, whoever the chief is up in Edgarton, who's just trying to defer to the Massachusetts State Police. He's like, well, I don't want to give you the documents. The case is still ongoing, and we have to push and push and push. And his people were on the ground trying to rescue this guy, It's frustrating to have to kind of fight these issues. It really is. But I know there's a public interest in it, and this is another example of why is Judicial Watch the only ones asking for it? Now, the Daily Mail was asking for it, and I understand another media company was asking for it. And the Daily Mail also got these documents as well. But again, it was Judicial Watch that I think really pressured the release in a significant way, because we had the Secretary of State of Massachusetts essentially force the police department to turn the records over to us. So there's more to come. I mean, we'll see what records the Secret Service had and what records the Massachusetts State Police have and other relevant authorities here. But right now, we've exposed some secrets that they didn't want you to know about the death of Obama's chef, and now we know there are other secrets that they don't want you to know about, and we are prepared to pursue them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.